This is a bonus part of When You Are Adopted by Seven Brothers. In the previous part, some readers were confused and thought I made a mistake when Wine called Hyung instead of Oppa. But I already gave the reason for it and I want to clear it up again. Wine calls Hyung because she grew up with boys and they all call each other Hyung, so therefore Wine also calls Hyung. As you enter the mansion, returning from college, you are suddenly startled by a loud scream coming from upstairs. You immediately recognize the voice as Jin's and rush upstairs, dropping your bag in the living room. You burst into the Jin's room but find no one there. You look around confused and are about to leave when you hear another scream. You look up and your eyes widen in shock as you see Jin sitting on top of the cabinet. Jin Hyung, how did you even get up there and what are you doing? Bug. You look at Jin wondering what's wrong and ask, what? You're freaking out over a bug? But as you look around the room, your eyes suddenly land on something that makes your blood run cold. Your body shivers with fear. Lizard. It's a lizard, not a bug. In a flash, you jump onto the bed, use the nightstand as a springboard, and leap into the cabinet to sit beside Jin. I don't know what it was, but I felt something fall on me and I thought it was a bug. It's a lizard! As you both gaze down in terror, you see the lizard walking on the floor. Thank God we're sitting on the cabinet, the lizard can't reach us. You sigh in relief, but then suddenly remember something and look at Jin with a worried expression. Jin Hyung, lizard can walk on walls. Jin's eyes widen in realization and you both look at the lizard again. To your horror, it's now walking on the same wall where the cabinet is placed. You both scream again. Just then, Youngis enters the mansion, returning from work. He's about to sit on the living room couch when he hears the screams coming from upstairs. His eyes widen and he immediately runs upstairs, rushing into the room. What's wrong? He shouts, covering his ears due to your loud screaming. He's shocked to see you both sitting on the cabinet, screaming at the top of your lungs. Yoongi, lizard, you say, almost crying. Yoongi sighs and looks at the lizard, then around the room. He spots a paper fan on the table. Pick it up and he is about to use to shoot the lizard away when Jin's scolding voice stopped him. Don't you dare to touch my fan. Yoongi shakes his head but still uses the fan to make the lizard run out of the window. He closes the window and looks at you both. Jin sighs, jumps down from the cabinet and takes the fan from Yoongi, throwing it in the dustbin. I will call pest control service. Oh God, Jin says, still looking puzzled, and walk out of the room. You look at the Yoongi who's already looking at you. You go. Help me climb down. Why? Come down like you climbed up. I climbed where? I don't know how to get down. Please help me. You press your lips together nervously and Yoongi darkly chuckled, extends his hand to you. You jump into his arms and he catches you. You both gaze into each other's eyes, lost in the moment when Jin suddenly re-enters the room to grab his phone, but his eyes meet with the sight of you both in a compromising position. Yeah, forgot my deal? You both flinch and quickly separate, trying to avoid Jin's angry gaze. Yoongi scratches his neck in nervousness. I don't see you both again with each other. No romance, no anything. If you both avoid me, I will arrange your marriage after graduation. With that, Jin storms out of the room, leaving you both feeling uneasy. You both quickly exit the room, aware that Jin has accepted your relationship but with strict conditions. Jin accepted your relationship, but he gives some rules that you both don't attract in-house or any type of romance. If you both avoid him, he will arrange your marriage with Yoongi after your graduation. It's the evening time and everyone has gathered in the dining room, waiting for dinner. You, Liansa and Jin have finished arranging the food, and now it's time to sit down and eat. Liansa, who has become a close friend and a member of the family, sits beside you while Jin sits beside Namjoon. Jim start the conversation. I heard the pest control team is coming tomorrow. Why? Because there are so many bugs and lizards getting into the house. Yeah, because of that, lizard Jin Hyong and mine were on the cabinet. Everyone eyes widen in surprise and JK and Namjoon exclaim in union. What? On the cabinet? The dinner conversation has taken an interesting turn, and everyone's attention now focused on the story of the lizard and the cabinet. When I came home, I saw you two both screaming on the cabinet. Thank God my ears are fine. What can you expect? There was a lizard on the floor. Yeah, thank goodness I jumped on the cabinet. Lizard can climb too, you know. I was thinking the same thing. I didn't know it was a lizard at first. I thought it was a bug in the wine game. But bugs can fly, and if it was a bug, it could fly to you easily when you are on the cabinet. Thank God I wasn't home. I'm scared of lizard too. Oh, don't worry, Ansa. I will protect you from anything. Thanks. Jimin gets kicked. What? Looks at Jimin, who is glaring at me. I mean, our responsibility since she lives here, so don't need to take responsibility for her. First, you protect yourself. I haven't forgive you for what you did in the kitchen. What did he do? He tried to cook and ended up setting off the fire alarm. That was not big deal. Yeah, not a big deal other the kitchen blast. I wonder how Jimin is still alive. I broke a vase and Jin literally beat me. The night had fallen and Yoongi was struggling to drift off to sleep. He let it out a sigh and checked his phone, only to find that you were still online but hadn't responded to his message. He felt a pang of frustration and wondered why you were ignoring him. Was it something he had said, or were you simply busy? Yoongi couldn't shake off the feeling of being neglected and decided to reach out again, hoping for a response this time. Yoongi sighed and tossed his phone onto the bed, frustrated on his face. He couldn't believe you were online but hadn't replied to his message. He thought they had a connection, but maybe he was wrong. As he lay there, wide awake, he couldn't help but wonder what you were doing. Were you busy ignoring him or just didn't care? He threw off the covers and got out of bed. Pacing around the room, he couldn't shake off the feeling of being ignored. Rungi rushed out of his room and stood in front of your door. He slowly opened it and saw you fully covered with a white blanket. With the brightness of your phone shining through, Yoongi sighed and called out to you in a soft voice. Shh, shh. Meanwhile, you were fast asleep, phone still in hand, and didn't reply to Yoongi's message. Suddenly, you heard a voice and woke up with a start and scared. Oh my god, what's that voice? Is that a lizard coming for revenge? You thought, gulping. What should I do now? Just then Yoongi frustrated came out of your room and stood near the railing, looking around to see if any was awake. He glanced downstairs into the living room, but it was empty. Suddenly your room door swung open, and you, still covered in the white blanket, ran into Jin's room where Yoongi tried to stop you. You burst into the Jin's room covered in blanket like a ghost, and Jin woke up with a flinch. Ah! He screamed, but you quickly clapped your hand over his face. Jin Hyong, it's me, you whispered. Jin's eyes widened in terror. Ghost, ghost, ghost! You shook your head, trying to stifle a giggle. It's me, Hyong, Ryan! Jin's expression changed from fear to confusion. Ryan, what are you doing here? Looking like a mummy. You whined. I'm scared. Can I sleep here? Yoongi sighed and nodded. You immediately snuggled up beside him. 2 minutes later, Yoongi came in, calling out. Shh, shh. You flinched and peeked out from the blanket, seeing a dark figure in front of the door. You let out a blood-curdling scream, and Jin fell out of bed. Ah, what's going on here? Jin asked, rubbing his head. You pointed at the figure, still screaming. Ghost! Jin looked at the door where you pointed and saw a figure who quickly ran out. You both looked at each other alarmed. Someone is here in our house? What if it's a ghost or a thief? You both stood up, walking out of the room while gulping and trembling in fear. You were walking behind Jin, who was holding a lamp in his hand. As you looked around to find the person, Yoongi, who was hiding behind the curtains, could hear you both and was gulping in fear. He knew that if Jin catch him, he would be in trouble. He was thinking of where to run, but his eyes fell on the lizard beside him. Now, what are you doing here? Are you here to take revenge because I threw you out today? Suddenly, the lizard walked towards Yoongi, making him move. He noticed the curtain moving and alerted Jin. Jin, the curtains are moving. Jin and you moved towards the curtains, and Yoongi cursed himself underneath. Yoongi suddenly held the curtain strongly and pulled it, making the curtain cloth come out from its stand. You both stopped and looked at each other, gulping, and then looked at the curtains. Yoongi wrapped the curtains around himself, covering all, and suddenly he ran towards you, making you both scream while closing your eyes. Ah! Yoongi shouted and ran towards his room. Ah! You both shouted, making the whole mansion awake. Everyone rushed outside their room as you both were closing your eyes. You didn't know where the person went. Yoongi came into his room through the curtain and hid them under the bed. He then came out of the room acting like he had come to hear your scream. What happened? Someone is here in our house. What? You two, tell us everything. How can someone come inside? Let's check the mansion. Good idea. Maybe he's hiding somewhere. Let's depart and check. I will check the outside area. I'm coming with you. As everyone started checking the mansion, Lee and Sir came to you and Jin. Oh God, are you both okay? Yes. You know, Yoongi, who was checking the living room, felt bad for scaring you like that and looked at you with concern. Everyone gathered again after checking all areas. Nothing is here. Yeah, me and Hobby checked the whole area. Are you sure someone was here? Do you think we are lying? No. Let's go to sleep. Nothing's here. Maybe the person ran away. We will check again tomorrow and increase security. Right. Everyone agreed and started heading to their rooms, but stopped when they heard your sobs. I'm so scared. I want to sleep alone. You sat crying and everyone felt bad seeing their princess in distress. Oh, my baby, don't cry. Hey, we all are here. Don't cry. Everyone hugged you tightly and you felt a little better. Jim took you to his room, noticing that you were still a bit scared. Hey, it's okay. I'm here for you, he said softly. The next morning, everyone went about their day as usual. You and Jungkook headed to college, accompanied by Ansa, who was studying with you all since she was the same age as yours. Jin was left alone at home and decided to do some cleaning. As he was heading up the living room, he noticed a black tie on the couch. He picked it up and recognized it as Yoongi's. This must be Yoongi's, he thought. Jin walked towards Yoongi's room, intending to put the tie away in his cabinet. However, when he entered the room, he was met with a mess. Yoongi can be so messy sometimes, Jin thought and shaking his head. As Jin started cleaning Yoongi's room, his eyes fell on something under the bed. He bent down and pulled it out, only to gasp in surprise when he realized it was the curtain. What is this doing here? Jin wondered, confusion edge on his face. In the evening, when everyone came back home, Jin and Tai came downstairs after taking a shower and found to see Jin deep in thoughts and looking a little angry. They silently sat beside Jaehoop and Namjoon, who were already present in the living room. Liansa was arranging dinner in the kitchen and you were helping, but your mood was off. Liansa noticed and shook your concerned. What happened? Nothing. He smiled slightly and continued working. Just then Yoongi entered the mansion, greeting everyone as he walked in. He was about to head upstairs, but Jin stopped him. Come here. What happened, Ayong? Yoongi walked over to the couch area to sit beside Jimin. Jin called out to you. Wyan, come here. Yes, Ayong. You walked towards them, confusion edge on your face. Yoongi, I found something in your room. What is it, Hyung? A curtain under your bed. I don't know what you're talking about. Trying to defend himself. Jin's expression showed disbelief, and Yoongi realized he can't hide anymore. Last night I was the one making sounds and hiding behind the curtain. Everyone gasped in shock. I was trying to call Wine, but she became scared and went to you. I was trying to call her without letting you know, but this all happened. Everyone looked stunned, shocked by Yoongi's revelation. The whole mansion suddenly goes silent. Jin taking out a pen from behind him. You stray cat! Jin shouts and runs towards Yoongi, who runs towards you and hide behind you. Hyung, please, sorry. Keep your sorry in your pocket. Jin Hyung, wait. This is all because of you. What he was doing at night, only to meet you? Hyung, I'm a mafia. Give a little respect. Respect? Jin record it all and upload it. Everyone will know how their mafia king is. Jim started recording as Jin chases Yoongi with the pen. Ah! You are going to regret this, Yoongi. Yoongi runs and Jin follows behind the pen. Stop it! I'm already fed up. Please stop all this. Everyone looked at you and you start crying. It was the first time they saw you crying like that. Jin immediately came to you and hugged you and you burst out crying badly. Jim and Tai Namjoon came near you and Yoongi's eyes became dark as he guessed something was wrong. He came to you and you looked at him with teary eyes. Reason of your crying? Yoongi said in the deepest dark voice, just like roaring. Jackson? You barely uttered the name before Yoongi immediately took out his gun and walked out of the mansion. Everyone looked at you in confusion. Clear it all. He was stalking me and tried to touch me. Before you could complete the sentence, everyone stood up in outrage. How dare he? He's dead now. How dare he even look at our princess? Let's go. Why didn't you tell me at college? Just then they all rushed outside the mansion, leaving you, Jin and Liansa behind. You burst into the tears and Jin and Sa hugged you tightly. Night fell and you were sleeping in Jin's embrace. You opened your eyes and looked at Jin, who was sleeping soundly. You sighed and sat up on the bed. You stood up and walked out of the room, looking at Yoongi's door and walking towards it. You slowly opened the door and saw that the room was dark. You walked towards his bed and saw him sleeping straight with one arm under his head and the other on his chest. You slowly lay down beside him and placed your head on his chest. Why are you awake? I can ask the same too. What did you do? Don't worry, he won't disturb you anymore. For a few seconds, the whole room was silent. Are you mad? Who I am to be mad at you when you don't think me worthy enough to share that someone is stalking you? It just happened one day, and you think one day is less? You flinched at his deep voice, and Yoongi sighed and calmed himself. He secured you in his arms and kissed you on your forehead. Promise me you won't hide anything. Promise. You both hugged each other and lost yourself in each other's embrace, feeling peaceful. The next morning, Jin came to your room but didn't find you anywhere. He sighed and guessed where you might be, then walked towards Yoongi's room. He saw you both sleeping, hugging each other, and smiled at the sight. He didn't say anything and quietly walked out. Months passed and your relationship with Yoongi continued to blossom. To your surprise, Jin didn't object to your closeness and you both grew even closer. Meanwhile, Jimin and Hansa are also getting closer and everyone knew about it, but Jin remained silent. Finally, Jin arranged your marriage, making you both overjoyed. At the same time, he asked Jimin to marry Ansa, who happily agreed along with Ansa. It was a beautiful sunny day and everyone had gathered for the grand wedding of not one but two couples, Yoongi and Wine, and Jimin and Ansa. The housemates were filled with laughter and excitement. The ceremony was taking place in a large open garden decorated with flowers, twinkling lights as Yoongi and Jimin stood at the altar, waiting for their brides. The rest of BTS was unsurprisingly causing trouble. Yoongi Hyung, are you nervous? Not really, just waiting for this to be over so I can eat. You, not nervous? I bet you will cry when Wine walks down the aisle. Not a chance. I have got tissue ready just in a case. For when Yoongi turns into a puddle of emotions. I'm not crying, Jin, but you will when you see Wine, right? Yoongi rolled his eyes trying to look cool, but secretly he knew they were right. Meanwhile, Namjoon was nervously checking over the verbs he had helped write for Jimin. Jimin, did you memorize your verbs? Yeah, I did. Trust me, I will be smooth. Smooth? The last time you tried to be smooth, you tripped in the hall during meeting. I will keep my camera ready just in case. That was one time. As they continued to banter, the music started playing, signaling that the brides, Wine and Ansa were about to walk down the aisle. Yoongi Hyung, your face is red. Shut up. As you both walked down the aisle, Yoongi thought a drawer started to crack. He blinked quickly, fighting back the emotion. Jin, always prepared, silently handed him a tissue. Yoongi refused, but Jin stuffed it in his hand anyway. Told you. While everyone was distracted with dancing, Namjoon, Taeyong and Jin were tasked with cutting the wedding cake. That of course didn't go as planned. Okay, I can do this. I just have to cut it carefully. Wait, let me do it. I'm worldwide handsome. I should cut the cake. What could go wrong? As soon as Namjoon touched the cake, the top tire slid off, landing on the Jin's pristine suit. My suit, my handsome face! Jin Hyung, you broke the cake and Jin's heart. I didn't mean to. I will fix it. I literally got a fight with the baker for this cake design, and they converted into disaster. But by then, everyone was laughing so hard, including Jimin and Yoongi, who were now wiping away tears from laughing. Later, Jungkook stood up to give a speech. He cleared his throat and smiled mischievously. To my dear Hyungs, Yoongi and Jimin, you both are old now. The room burst into the laughter. And Yoongi rolled his eyes. But seriously, you are both amazing, and I hope your married lives are as happy as Jin Hyung is when he sees a mirror. You are welcome. And Yoongi Hyung, if you ever need help with any relationship advice, don't ice cream. I still don't know what I'm doing. The crowd laughed again, and Yoongi gave him a playful glare while Wine and Ansa giggled behind them. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought I'd see Yoongi and Jimin get married, mostly because Yoongi can't stay awake long enough for anything, and Jimin, well, Jimin cries when he watches cartoons. The room burst into laughter while Jimin blushed. But seriously, you both found the perfect people to put up with you. So congratulations, Yoongi. One must be have some superpowers to get you out of the bed before noon. And Jimin, and so just remember that he's going to cry at every movie night, so get used out of it. Hey, I'm in touch with my emotions, and that's why we love you, man. Just don't forget to call us when you need a babysitter for future little Yoongis or Jimin's running around. I'm great with kids, except when they cry, because then I will call Jimin to handle it. Jin, ever the jokester in the group, took the mic with a dramatic flair, flipping his hair back. Alright, everyone, you have heard some decent speeches, but now it's time for the real one. Everyone laughed, knowing Jin's sense of humor well. Yoongi and Jimin, I have known you both for years. We have been through thick and thin, and honestly, I thought the only thing you two would ever commit was your favorite takeout restaurant, but here we are on your wedding day. Still thinking about takeout though? That's exactly my point, but you two really found someone who make you as happy as late night snack. And to me that's love. He paused, letting his words sink in, then grinned. Just remember marriage is a bowl of ramen. If you follow the instruction and don't overcook it, everything will turn out great. But if you mess it up, well, you can always order pizza. The crowd laughed as Jin winked at the couple. Next up was Namjoon, the calm and thoughtful full of the group. He stepped up on the mic, adjusting his glasses like he was about to give a serious speech. First of all, congratulations to both Yogi and Ryan, and Jimin and Ansa. We have all been through so much together, and it's amazing to see you guys finally getting married. He smiled at the couple, then continued. Yoongi, you have always been the quiet one, but today, well, you are still pretty quiet, but I know how much wine means to you. And Jimin, you have always been the emotional one. And sir, you're going to need a lot of tissues. You are not wrong. Here's my advice. Marriage is like assembling furniture. Sometimes it's confusing and you will argue about where the pieces go. But in the end, you will figure out it and it will be worth it. Also, the ball of energy in the group particularly escaped up to the mic. Can we just talk about how awesome today is? Two of our best friends are getting married. And honestly, I thought Yoongi would fall asleep halfway through the ceremony, but he made it. Barely. I'm so proud of both of you for finding your perfect matches. Yoongi Wine makes you smile more than I have ever seen. And that's saying something. And Jimin and puts up with the all extraness. It is impressive. Like seriously, she is a strength. He turned a little more serious for a moment, but really, I'm just so happy for both couples. I have seen you guys grow up together, and now you are starting this new chapter. My advice: dance through life together, even when things get tough. But if all else fails, I'm just a call away for a spontaneous dance party. Last, but certainly not least, Tang stood up, looking thoughtful. He grabbed the mic and gave a dramatic pause before speaking. Yoongi, Jimin, you two, I have been watching you for a long time. Everyone chuckled, not quite sure what he was going with this. And today, I realized something. Marriage is like wearing socks. The room went silent for a moment, confused but curious about analogy. You need two socks to make a pair. If one is missing, you can't wear just one. It's not right. So, you two found your perfect match socks? Keep your socks clean, warm, and cozy. That actually makes sense. Exactly. If you ever feel like you're losing your socks, just look under the bed. The room erupted in laughter again, appreciating Taeyong's greatly yet surprisingly wise metaphor. The speeches ended with the entire group laughing, teasing, and cheering for their two friends, Yoongi and Jimin, who were now officially starting their new lives with their brides, Ryan and Ensa. The night continued with more jokes, memories, and the kind of light through only close friends can create.